Beesbrook, who has carried the load for New York, is in again for the Rangers. A candidate, of course, for the first All-Star team. But the hottest commodity in goaltending in these playoffs is this young man, 20-year-old Patrick Roy. And what a story he has been. And he wants to win this one tonight so badly.
No changes for the Rangers. They did have Ron Gressner in the warm-up. He suffered a hand injury in the last game of their series with Philadelphia, but he will not play. The Canadiens again without Rick Green. Peter Svoboda in the lineup to take his place. They have made one change. Lucien Deblois is not playing tonight. Rookie Shel Dahlin is, and the game is underway. Robert?
Patrick and Huber on the defense for the Rangers. Brooke, Maloney, and Pimon are up front. Robinson and Lawler. Starting back for Montreal, Lemieux, McPhee, and Skrudlin, the forward line, and this is Skrudlin starting out. Skrudlin coming to center ice. He's been a tower of strength for the Canadiens. It's played right into Van Beesbrook from a sharp angle by McPhee, and the goaltender will hang on to it, and whoops, don't tell me we got it going this early.
Well, we saw a lot of that in New York the other night, this after-the-fact gathering around. I think it's pretty obvious and rather unanimous with everybody involved that the early goal or goals are so important. And for Ted Sater and Jean Perron, this, of course, is a pivotal series in their rookie season as coach in the National Hockey League. The last rookie coach to win a Stanley Cup was Al McNeil, who won it in his first year with Montreal, in his case, part of a year. That was back in 1971.
That was also the year that Ken Dryden turned everybody upside down and went on to win the Conn Smythe Trophy.
Making an announcement.
A player, a video team, and it would be
really
a disaster. Please don't throw anything on the ice.
No, it's the throwing on the ice. When the Rangers skated on, just prior to the playing of the national anthems, they were throwing things at the New York team. And I guess somebody is throwing something. Yes, there's some debris in the Rangers zone. So here's Shel Dahlin on the ice for the Canadiens. He hasn't been in uniform too much lately in the playoffs. He struggled through the latter part of the season, still ended up as the NHL's highest point-scoring rookie. So they're looking for some offense from Dahlin tonight. He's on his usual spot, right wing with Smith and Naslund.
And Patrick for the Rangers goes behind the net. Dahlin couldn't stop the puck at the blue line. Naslund now nearly stole it. Rangers laid it up to center. That was Miller getting it in across the line. Now Miller has to come back on side as Allison shoots it in. Stopped at the Montreal line. Rangers, Allison in there again. Given a bump by Ludwig. In on the boards, and Chelios was taken in on the boards himself by Miller. Naslund circles in the corner. Gets rid of it to center to Dahlin. It took a funny hop on the boards and bounced away from number 20. Dahlin. Bobby Smith is in. Smith left it for Naslund. Naslund made a good move. Nearly set it up. It went through the skates of Chelios, though. And the Rangers. Allison went in. He is offside. Face off in the center ice zone. Linesman Bob Hodges moving Nyland back a bit. Now Svoboda dropped it over on the far side. Canadians start up. That's Robinson near center. He just backhands it in the Ranger zone. Rangers go back, but the Canadians steal it. Nyland given a bump and knocked to the ice. Harbonneau's shot is off the side of the net, and Van Beesbrook grabbed it before it bounced down on the ice again.
In Game 4 in New York, the Canadiens moved to the attack. Through the first 10 minutes, they dominated things, but not in any real intense fashion. The Rangers weren't playing very well, nor were the Canadiens, but Montreal had the edge. And then after that initial flurry off the top with Van Beesbrook stopping everything they shot his way, the New York team got the goal and took over and won the hockey game.
Harbonneau on the draw. It comes back out over the line, and Svoboda has to hurry back. I think most people will agree that if the Rangers can win this game tonight, we're likely looking at 7 in this series. Canadians know that. They want to end it tonight. It won't be easy. Samuelson played it to center ice. Canadians. Robinson nearly fanned on it, nearly gave it away up the blue line. Now Samuelson's long shot off the Canadiens' net. In on the boards is Eriksson. He was knocked down, and Robinson takes over. Eriksson chases him. In back of the goal, Robinson now trying to hold it with a skate. It comes loose, and the Rangers come close as LaRouche nearly tucked it in on the short side. Canadians get it out. Back at his own line is Melnick, being watched by Nyland, who gave him a bump. Now Nyland has to hurry to get back out. Canadians dragging the puck and making changes as the Rangers come back to center ice. Sandstrom's shot gave Wow, a little bit of trouble, but he held it as he fell on it. And there will be a face-off in the Montreal zone to the left. Live on CBC Hockey Night in Canada. A rather cautious first 3 minutes of this hockey game. Nobody wants to open up this early. Yet everybody wants that early lead.
Pierre LaRouche wasn't that far from a goal off the corner of the post there a moment ago.
Canadians shoot it down the ice. Icing waved off. Huber's coming back for New York. Patrick back there on the defense with him. Puck comes near center. Ridley played it on the left side for Osborne. It goes right to Patrick Roy. Lundwig off the boards for Lemieux. That slides down the ice. Again, icing waved off as they neared the 4-minute mark of the first period. Canadians lead the series 3 games to 1. Lemieux stealing it. Flipped it to Skrudland. He deflected it, but wide of the Ranger net. Canadians keep it in. There goes McPhee into the corner. He and Osborne bump together. Skrudland is on the puck quickly. McPhee from the corner. McPhee centered it. McPhee takes it off the boards. Put a weak shot in. And the Rangers clear it to the line and out. Osborne gets it up the center. This is Ridley coming in on a sharp angle, takes a shot, and it dribbled right into the goaltender, and he just cleared it with a stick. At the blue line is Laidlaw. Rangers turning it on here. Rangers in after it. It's center. They score! Ridley. Not a hard shot. It hit something in front, and the Rangers take a 1-0 lead.
And look out, we've got some ill will developing here in the wake of that goal. Mike Ridley, the rookie, with his 7th playoff goal, and Tom Laidlaw. We mentioned the other night how strong he was defensively for New York, but he kept the puck in play along the boards, beating the rookie Lemieux. Now, the shot might have been deflected in from off the corner. We'll have to wait for the official call on the goal. Now, take a look at the Ranger player cutting into the left right there. I think he did get his stick on it. They've given it to Sandstrom, apparently, ruling the puck was deflected. So the Rangers strike first against the Canadiens, who have played 8 games in the playoffs this year here in Montreal and have a record of 7 wins and just 1 loss.
Sandstrom got the goal at 3:50 here in the first period, and the Rangers an early lead. Paymont takes it to center. Ruotsalainen coming in. His shot is blocked by Lawler. Lawler gets it out to center ice. Carbonneau was up there, but couldn't get a stick on it. Paymont bounces one in and rolled away to Lawler. Lawler around the net. Dropped it there for Robinson. 1-0 Rangers in this first period. Coming up to the 5-minute mark. Canadians nearly gave it away again at the blue line. Carbonneau lost a chance to move it. Now Carbonneau steals it back. Carbonneau coming in with Chris Nyland. Nyland gets set. And it's stopped by Van Biesbroek, a goaltender coming out, cutting the angle. He looked behind him, but he had the puck.
Early saves might give John Van Biesbroek a rather bright outlook in all of this. One of the best kept secrets of the playoffs is the fact that along the way, John D'Amico broke Matt Pavlich's record for most Stanley Cup games worked by a linesman. That happened in Game 5 of the Ranger-Philadelphia series. The record was 220. John working in game number 230 here tonight. Tomorrow, John and his wife will celebrate their 28th wedding anniversary. So congratulations all around to all members of the D'Amico family. And I might point out, Bob, that despite the shirt he is wearing tonight, it is not true that Don Cherry is the backup official here.
Gingras on there for Canadians. Naslund takes it from center ice in with Smith. And Kordic shoots. And he just misses on the far side. A good setup to Kordic. Back up for the Rangers. McClellan is hopping in there. Lost it against Gingras. Around the net, he has very little room to move. Bobby Smith misses it. The Rangers in forechecking. Smith again takes it. Back up to center ice. There goes Naslund across the line. Naslund driving in. Naslund! Hit the goal post. Red light went on. It's still on, but it hit the post. I believe it came out. Play continues, and now they call it. It did not go in.
No, I don't think it ever went in the net. The goal judge jumped the gun. Van Hellemond was immediately signaling no goal. Now take a look. The back of the net look. Good play by Naslund. He gets around Melnick. The net is open. He threw it back on an angle. Puts it straight ahead. It's in. But you can see from that perfect look with our camera behind the net, the puck never went over the line. And then Naslund missed the chance on the rebound. Watch the post to the goaltender's left side. Now you can't see it from that angle. But there's no doubt. The replay showed clearly. And Bob had a perfect angle at it and called it right away. Still 1-0 New York. But what a chance for Mats Naslund, and it's off the post, pure and simple. There was the second chance. He went head over heels, and the puck stayed out of the net.
He made a great move, and he had 6 feet. But he hit the post, as you saw. Here it's centered again. And the Rangers watch the puck come off the boards out to center ice. Gingras gets back in a hurry. Sandstrom watching him. Ridley misses it at the Canadian line. 1-0 New York, nearing the 6-minute mark of the first period. Now McPhee turns with Richer. Richer coming in there. Richer trying to go around Patrick. It comes back in front, and Van Beesbrook is out, and there's a penalty coming up to the New York Rangers. Patrick on that play.
Now they're tripping on James Patrick at 5:48. These teams were both 0 for 6 on the power play in Game 4 the other night in New York. On the series so far, Montreal is 3 for 20 when they've had a man advantage.
An important power play now for the Canadiens. They've fallen behind here, 1-0. Chelios and Naslund with Smith to Naslund. Naslund to the side of the net. Lemieux waits, gets it back to the line, and Chelios shooting. Not a good shot. And it's cleared down the ice. Minute 40 left of the power play as Robinson picks it up back to the net, out to Smith. Smith coming down with Lemieux. Naslund is trailing the play. Bobby Smith going in there. Smith still has it on his stick. Smith back to the net. Lemieux knocked down. He manages to sweep the puck over into the corner. Naslund to Robinson, shoots! And Beesbrook made a good glove save on that shot by Larry Robinson.
Well, the good goaltending continues. Canadians trying to set up a screen in front of the New York goaltender. Robinson with the wrist shot. He went for the top corner, short side. Look at Lemieux cutting in front. And the goaltender with the glove grab. 1:20 remaining in the penalty to James Patrick. Larry Robinson, as you see, 14 years in the NHL, 14 years in the playoffs. Tonight, 148 game number for him in Stanley Cup competition.
Gingras with a new stick at the blue line with Robinson. Robinson takes the puck. Another shot. Stopped by Van Beesbrook.
Good job by Hubert tying up Lemieux.
Rangers, penalty killers, get it up to center. Eriksson coming in there. Eriksson takes the shot. Actually tried to pass it in front. And the Canadians bring it back out. Naslund coming in. Naslund with Lemieux had it poked off his stick. Gingras stopped it at center ice. Hands it off to Smith, and Robinson takes over, turning back near his own line to Naslund. Naslund picking a hole to go in. Naslund along the line. Gingras whipped it off to the corner. Lemieux left it there. Here's Bobby Smith. Smith is knocked down. And puck comes loose to Robinson. Robinson passes back. Naslund faked the shot. Just rolled it in front. And the Rangers just about clear it. They hold it up along the boards. Referee standing there allows the play to continue. Laidlaw against Bobby Smith. Smith played the body. Comes up with the puck. Left it there. Miller is going to clear it down the ice. That will just about kill the penalty. Only 15 seconds left in the penalty to Patrick. 1-0 New York here in the first period. Richer winding up, hitting the line. Center ice, going in. Richer couldn't get the backhander. Couldn't quite control it. Gingras shot. Stopped by Van Beesbrook. The penalty is over. Canadians keep the heat on until now. and the Rangers clear it out. Brook gets to center, gave it to Patrick. Patrick trying to roll it in there in front of the net, and the Canadiens again. That is Nyland. Chris Nyland coming out with Darlene and Richer. Canadiens make changes as they shoot the puck in. Bob Brook flipped it back to the net to Samuelson. He ran into traffic there, and the Canadiens on it again. Another shot deflected as Darlene gets it again. Left it there for Richer. Turning around, sharp angle, can't shoot it. Darlene, he waits, falls to the ice, and Payma will bring it out for the Rangers to the line. And stopped by Kordic. Kordic shoots it to the corner on the other side. Carbonneau moved up. Darlene is in there. Darlene trying to get away from Brook. Canadiens in front. Kordic shot off the leg. Once again, Kordic got through the crease and he's knocked down, and the Rangers, three of them come out. Payma carries the puck in over the Canadian line. With Brook, Payma centered it, and the Canadiens are going to get back the other way. As Carbonneau has some speed up now. Carbonneau going in. Carbonneau, a real favorite here at the Forum, centered it, and it just misses the far side. Chelios in the corner, gave it to Carbonneau. Carbonneau tried to center it, he's tied up, still fighting for it. Good work by Carbonneau. Trying to jam it in off the goaltender. Nearing the halfway mark, first period. Canadiens pouring it on now. But the Rangers hanging on, and they shoot it out over the line. Ludwig waits. Canadiens are onside. Back in again. Chelios dumped it in. Changing on the fly, the Montreal Canadiens. Nyland in there, bumping with his man. Amos starts up for New York. Gave it to Ruotsalainen coming in. A neat play, and there's the shot by Eriksson that misses. Canadiens trailing 1-0. Coming out again as Nyland in with Skrudland. And they're offside as they go across the Ranger blue line. 10:04 left in the first period. New York leading 1-0.
Gaston Gingras to the left of your screen, Mark Osborne on the right, in their respective areas of the penalty box area here in Montreal. Now, it was not all that much contact made. What Gingras with a poke to the shoulder, that's all. But Van Hellemond made the call right there.
Coincident minors. With 7.5 minutes left of this opening period, the Rangers were the only goal so far. Lemieux was there, but the Rangers clear it out over the line. Chelios didn't wait. He flipped it back in. 3 o'clock this afternoon, Dick. Gingras, along with Nyland and Carbonneau, were in the Canadiens' dressing room preparing for this game tonight.
Guy Lafleur was still playing. He might have been there at 2:30. He was always there. Bobby Orr the same way. Canadiens complained the other night after the game in New York about the hooking and the hanging on and so on. I don't see any indication that the Rangers are about to play it any differently here tonight, especially inside their blue line. They've been giving the Canadiens a lot of heavy traffic to contend with. I thought during that power play chance for Montreal that Billy Huber was outstanding for New York. He made 3 good defensive plays for the Rangers.
Of course, if he spreads his arms, he covers what?
Imagine him and Samuelson together. 6'6", 6'8", or whatever, 6'4", 6'8". They'd be out there. They could cover one end of the rink to the other almost. It'd be pretty tough to get through. Samuelson 6'6". Huber 6'5". Rangers 1-0. That's what counts, Bob, right now.
And 7:20 left in the period. McPhee back to Robinson. Robinson through the middle. It's dumped into the zone by Lemieux. And there's Samuelson, number 8. Lead pass, pretty good one for Crawford. Then his pass to Eriksson hit a skate. Melnick is up with a shot. Roy stopped that. Back to the net, Chelios. Chelios using the boards in the corner to give it to McPhee. McPhee gets away from one check. Strides on to center. Coming in with Richer. McPhee doing it all. The backhander stopped by Van Beesbrook, but a pretty good burst of speed and a nice rush by McPhee.
Canadiens getting chances, but except for Nazanu at the open net and that shot by Robinson in the power play, the chances are coming from angles. Another example of it right here. Backhand by McPhee from the area of the face-off circle, but not much of a problem for Van Beesbrook, who plays it, moves with the shooter, and then makes the save. 6:45 remaining in this first period. The Rangers continue to lead 1-0. The goal officially credited to Sandstrom. Ridley on the assist. The time was 3:50.
Carbonneau back out there again with Gainey and Chris Nyland. Ludwig and Lawler on the defense. The Rangers, Maloney skating through the circle. He's number 12. A quick shot on the draw by Nyland, misses the net. Rangers get it out of the zone and down the ice. Goes wide of the Canadian net. Lawler makes it away from the goaltender and starts up with a pass to Carbonneau. He had to hurry it. He was checked right away by Ruotsalainen. Patrick Waugh stopped that long shot. Lawler dumped it ahead. No room to move it out, though. Carbonneau roots it off the boards and starts away. He'll bring it out. Pushed it ahead for Gainey and went by him. Icing waved off. Sandstrom back in a hurry for New York. Cleared it right to Maloney on the boards. Maloney gave it to Ruotsalainen. And it bounced up over the stick of Lawler. Lawler dumped it off the boards to the Ranger line. There's Lawler not coming in. Three of them are on the play. Carbonneau shoots. A rebound. And it's knocked away by Sandstrom. Ludwig knocked it down at the line and took a shot. That's wide of the net on the short side. Don Maloney backing up. The Canadiens in forechecking, applying pressure again with just under 6 minutes left in the period. Ruotsalainen nearly got away. It's down the ice and Patrick Waugh has to play it. Here's Miller moving up along the ball. He was flat by Ludwig. And he has been hurt.
The New York Rangers' Kelly Miller has barely moved after he was nailed by Craig Ludwig. Van Hellemond seemed to give the elbowing signal for the penalty call. But the Ranger player was nailed. All right, bottom of your screen. There. Between the elbow and the glass. 14:25 the time. Not a very good penalty to take. You wonder if it was really necessary, the move that Ludwig made at the time, and there is a very woozy Kelly Miller.
Hockey night in Canada, a Stanley Cup tradition.
The New York Rangers lead the hockey game 1-0. They get their first power play opportunity of the night on the series. They are 2 for 21 on the power play.
And here's Patrick now, rolling it ahead. McClellan gets set to give it to Patrick. Patrick to the other side. Ruotsalainen back to Patrick. No shot yet. Here's the first one, deflected off the net. Ruotsalainen. He'll wait. A lot of patience shown by this Ranger team on the power play. They'll keep moving it around to spring somebody open, hopefully. But Carbonneau, a pretty good penalty killer. Here's it down the ice. He's on there with Gainey. And here comes Ruotsalainen in across the line, dropping it back. Rangers shoot it into the corner. Payma has it. Payma flipped it to the corner again. It comes back to him. Payma to the side of the net. McClellan back to the goal. McClellan gets it back in front. And the pass intercepted, and Gainey gets it out over the line. Gainey lost his stick. Rangers come up again. Patrick to Payma. Shoots it in front of the net. Canadiens dump it down the ice. 1 minute left for the penalty to Montreal. 1-0. The Rangers leading. Patrick skates in front of the net. Starts to the blue line now. This power play comes in across the Canadian line. Patrick Waugh takes a look. Had a notion, I believe, to try and shoot it out. But he gave it to the defenseman and he cleared it down the ice. 35 seconds left in the penalty. Skrudland took a shot back there from Huber. Play goes on. And now in for Ridley. He got through. Waugh to the net to poke it away. It comes back in front, and the Canadiens are going to bring it out. Two of them make that three. Chelios coming in with Skrudland. Chelios took the shot. Van Beesbrook covering the angle, made the save. 10 seconds left in the Canadian penalty. Here's LaRouche in there. And he went for the far side and just missed. Long pass, too far for Skrudland. And the Canadian penalty is over. Still 1-0, New York. Rink wide pass knocked down by Larry Robinson. He tried to hit Naslund and just missed him. LaRouche in there again. Take the shot. Now lets it go, and it gets through everybody. Right to Waugh.
The Canadiens killed the penalty to Craig Ludwig. Had a good scoring chance on a three-man rush that they waited too long to get the shot away, but with Chelios rushing in so deep, he left the team wide open. There was only one man back in the Rangers' return rush.
Melnick's shot is blocked by Carbonneau. Carbonneau feeds it up to center ice. Osborne comes back for New York. Rink-wide pass. Robinson will take care of it this time. Allison is in watching Robinson. Robinson nearly gave it away. Now it goes to McClellan. Back for Allison and hopped over his stick. And the Canadiens get it up to Naslund. Catching up is Ludwig. He couldn't control the pass. Van Beesbrook out of the net. Shoveled it off to the corner, but Naslund was in there. Through the crease. Dahlin on the other side. Ludwig got in front and couldn't make contact properly. Robinson shoots it in there. Dahlin is in. So is Naslund. Naslund looking around, looking for Bobby Smith. He centered to Smith. Smith was tied up. And the Rangers are going to get another penalty. Here's the call now. As Smith was tied up in front of the goal.
I was thinking as that play was developing, Bob, that Van Hellemond was being rather charitable to players on both teams, especially when it came to slashing. But Laidlaw got caught in the traffic, hooking. And where is it? In front of the net on Bobby Smith, right there. So the Canadiens, who trail 1-0, will get their second power play chance of the game. As Todd Laidlaw is in the box at 17:33 here in this first period.
À 17 minutes 33 secondes. New York's penalty number 2, Tom Laidlaw. 2 minutes for hooking at 17 minutes 33 seconds.
So again, Canadiens on the power play. Chelios looking to tie it up. Naslund back to Chelios. Here's the shot. That was deflected away from the net with Van Beesbrook going down. Now the Rangers will send the Canadiens back to center ice. Gingras hopping in across the line with a pass. Comes back to him. Chelios waits. Chelios looks to the far side. Now to Gingras. Rangers doing a good job again, killing the penalty. Pass to center. Naslund now in there with Lemieux. Naslund gets set. Dropped it back to Chelios. Smart play. Chelios the shot. Hit a leg. Brook was standing right in front of him. Chelios kept it in. Here's a good play for Gingras. Kept it in. Scrambles. He scored. Lemieux got the goal.
Gingras is well known for having a big shot. Might have thrown the Rangers off a bit because he doesn't let the shot go. He just slipped it through. Van Beesbrook, as you see, went down on the play. Young Claude Lemieux, who was making a real nuisance of himself in front of the net, off the side, right there, shoves it home. The Canadiens have tied the game. And Lemieux has become the goal-scoring hero for Montreal in the playoffs. Quite a story. That's his 9th.
What a big goal for Canadiens. Power play goal at 18:21.
Assisted by number 29, Gaston
Patrick Roy hangs on to that shot.
And number 24, Chris Chelios.
Chelios and Gingras assisted on that goal by Lemieux. We're tied now at 1.
Well, what a story this kid has been with the Sherbrooke Canadiens in the American Hockey League, right through to a point about 2 weeks from the end of the season. Was up earlier in the year, ended up playing a total of 10 regular season games and scored 1 goal. He has 2 overtime goals for Montreal, 9 as a total in the playoffs, 20 years of age.
Lawler skates in front of the Canadian goal. Long pass, stopped by Ruotsalainen. Ludwig had to knock it down. Just content to dump it out to center ice, back to the Ranger blue line. Ruotsalainen nearly crossed up Laidlaw. Laidlaw's bumped by Nyland. Rangers having difficulty getting through with a minute left in the period now. Sandstrom comes in there for New York. Sandstrom bumped on the boards. Nyland is jammed out of the play, but here's Carbonneau racing in. He has Gainey with him. It's dropped back to Lawler. Lawler racing in, putting on the brakes. He is tied up. Took a swing at the puck, got it along the boards, and it finally comes out with 40 seconds left in the period. Backhanded in by Gainey. 35 seconds to play in the first period. And a high stick making contact. There'll be a face-off in the Ranger zone.
Chris Nyland was involved with Sandstrom way behind the play that time when Carbonneau and Gainey rushed up, and they kept hanging on to one another. Hodges was there, and Van Elleman was watching, but nothing came of it. So Sandstrom at 350 for New York, Lemieux at 18:21 on a power play for Montreal. And it's tied 1-1. Now here they are. This is Sandstrom and Nyland. The puck is there. Now the puck isn't there. Carbonneau carried it up, and they kept hanging on. They were down, they were up. Nothing further came of it, and no penalties were called.
33 seconds left in the period.
Here we go. Now, meanwhile, the puck is, by this time, getting close to the blue line. Now, I've seen that. He's trying to pin him down. Get the 3 count. Hodges was there. He hung tough with it.
And we're ready again to the left of Van Beesbroek. Canadians win the draw. Hubert took his man out of the play. McPhee allowing the Rangers to clear it to center. Robinson dumped it in again with 20 seconds left in the period. The Rangers start out. Pass on the boards to Maloney. Maloney couldn't stop it. Down for Robinson. Robinson gave it to Chelios. 10 seconds left in the period. If he gets to center, he'll shoot it. Chelios with a shot. The rising shot and the rebound. Came back in front of the net again. And the siren goes to end the first period. Sandstrom for New York. Lemieux for Montreal. The shots were 9-8 for the Canadiens. So the score at the end of the first period. New York 1. Montreal 1. The teams are ready to go for period number 2. Here in game 5. Canadiens win tonight. They're on to the Stanley Cup final. Rangers win tonight. We're all on our way back to New York. 1-1. And the second period is now underway. Lawler takes the puck at the blue line. Robinson couldn't handle that pass. It was like a bullet about 3 feet high. Offside. It'll come back to the Canadian zone.
Bob, another sad note in hockey this week with news of the passing yesterday of Murph Chamberlain. At the age of 72, died of a heart attack at his home in Beachville, Ontario. Murph Chamberlain played 12 years in the NHL. He played 9 seasons with Montreal, also with Toronto, Boston, and the New York Americans. He was a member of Stanley Cup winning teams here in Montreal in 1944 and 1946. He is survived by his wife Peggy, his daughter Gail, and son Peter, and our sympathies to the Chamberlain family.
We're in the first minute of play in the second period, and again, close checking as they start the period, as they did the first, but then they opened up. It was a fast first period. A few whistles. Still trying to figure out how Naslund missed that chance he had when he drew the goaltender, went in around him, Van Beesbroek, and missed the net. But he has been skating well so far tonight. Tough to keep him down forever. Naslund, great puck handler. Great shot. Long shot that was stops easily. Puck is cleared again out over the line, and it's called. Little chippy maybe. Lawler and Maloney almost went at it.
We are seeing a lot of Bob Brook in this series. He's played very well. Brook and Dave Maloney, or Don Maloney, have played very well as a penalty killing unit. Interesting that in the game the other night, plus the first period of this one, a total of 14 power play chances and only 1 power play goal, the one by Lemieux, here this evening late in the first period. So the penalty killers are doing their job. And there's one of them. The Canadiens team captain, Bob Gainey. While Guy Carbonneau carrying the load for the other guys.
Canadians come on with Carbonneau, Nyland, and Bob Gainey. Ridley, Osborne, and Sandstrom for New York. Ruotsalainen dumps one in wide of the Canadian net. It comes right in front. Roy had to be careful. It bounced away from Chelios. He wasn't too careful playing that one off the boards, and it bounced right in front of the Rangers. Nearly got one there. Rangers dump it in. Patrick Waugh out of the net, put it high on the glass. Rangers keep it in. It comes in the slot area, and his shot was just wide. Laidlaw at the blue line. He can't stop Carbonneau. Carbonneau skating hard tonight. Dropped it back. Gainey, and he misses. Just misses. It went off the post just on the outside. Came very, very close. Good hard shot by Gainey. Carbonneau left it there for Chelios. Back of the net. Chelios against Ridley. Played it up on the left side, and Gainey is away with Carbonneau again. Dumping it in. Gainey decides he had better go in as Carbonneau was checked by Melnick. Gainey cannot stop Samuelson. He got away from two players and a third. And then the shot. Patrick Waugh gloved that and threw it back to the net for Swoboda. He's coming out for Montreal. Coming up to the 2-minute mark of the second period. 1-1 is the score, and the Rangers go in there. LaRouche taking a hit on the boards by Nyland. LaRouche goes down right in front of the referee. Play continues, and the Canadiens get it out over the line. Gainey is spun around. Carbonneau went to Nyland. He didn't see the play. He nearly got trapped with the extra man on, but Dahlin was still leaving the bench. Wasn't in on the play. Puck goes to Robinson. Here's Dahlin. He miscues. Then he can't make a play, and he's going to get a penalty now. He upended Eriksson, and he's going off.
The Canadiens rookie from Sweden, Kjell Dahlin, played all season and earned just 2 minor penalties. This is his second minor penalty in the playoffs. Tripping is the call. You saw Kelly Miller flattened and knocked woozy by the elbow thrown by Craig Ludwig, as we see the reason Dahlin has been penalized. That Ludwig elbow has apparently put Miller out of the game. He won't be back, we're told.
Score tied at 1. And the Rangers now on a power play. That is Skrudlin getting it back, killing a few seconds. And the Canadiens shoot it down the ice. Ruotsalainen, James Patrick, the defenseman for New York. Sandstrom with LaRouche. And Ridley up on the play. Patrick is stopped. The Canadiens send him back again. Skrudlin racing in. But Van Beesbroek goes to the right side with it. McPhee steals it. McPhee going in. He's tied up and can't get a shot. Ridley covered him all the way. It's circling the net by Skrudlin. Back to the line. Lawler's shot. Van Beesbroek stopped that. Skrudlin, I'll tell you, did a good job picking it up and going around the net trying to stuff it in. McPhee goes to the bench. Rangers come in on the power play. Lawler out there for Montreal. Backhands it off a skate. Ruotsalainen picks it up for New York. Huber played it up to the line. Rangers come in after it. On the board, Samuelson. He couldn't go by Lawler. Will Paymo tied up by the referee that time. There's his shot deflected by Ludwig over the glass and into the crowd with 40 seconds left in the Dahlin penalty.
All penalty killers on both teams working very well tonight. Skrudlin and McPhee did an excellent job. As you see, Mike McPhee, number 35 for Montreal, from 58 Bourgeois, Nova Scotia. He's been a pretty handy guy for this team during the playoffs. When people mention the main reasons the Canadiens are where they are, surprisingly, of course, the names most mentioned are the likes of McPhee and Lawler and Skrudlin and Lemieux and Patrick Waugh. Didn't figure to be that way if this team was going to get to within 1 win of the Stanley Cup Finals.
You look to Smith and Gainey and Naslund. Smith starting to come on in the series after a rather slow start. Puck squirts loose off the boards. Carbonneau, excellent penalty killer for Canadiens. Right through the opening and down the ice. 25 seconds left of the Canadian penalty. That's Samuelson. He gave it away. Carbonneau. He has Gainey in front. Carbonneau's shot blocked on the short side by Van Beesbroek. And the Rangers have to be careful now. McClellan goes to center. Carbonneau again. Stop the play. Samuelson, however, carries on. Slap one. Robinson tried to hit Carbonneau. There he goes. Carbonneau after cutting in. And he was stopped by Brook before he could get a shot. Here comes Naslund, driving one. Van Beesbroek stopped that. Naslund again stopped it. Naslund coming in front. And a penalty coming up against the Rangers, Willie Huber. There's the call as they go in on the boards. The Canadian penalty is over, and now the Rangers pick up a penalty. This is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Fans are hollering for what they thought were 2 or 3 Ranger infractions. The one that was called Bob Brook. So the Rangers lose a top penalty killer as well as losing a man. Right there is the reason why. And with the score tied 1-1 and the Canadiens, who have just killed off a penalty, it's now a great opportunity for Montreal. to go ahead. Their only goal came on the power play late in the first period.
And Lemieux is on there now. Robinson just misses on the short side. Lemieux centered it. They score!
Yep, you count.
It bounced high, and the Canadiens take the lead for the first time.
They've had some near misses around the nets. Andy Van Hellemond was right there. This only took 7 seconds. Smith left the face-off circle. I don't know if he had been ordered out by the referee. Claude Lemieux took the face-off and won it cleanly. And from the side of the net, it looked like Bobby Smith was the one who knocked it out of the air. He had been out of position on the face-off after Lemieux had taken the draw. So does Smith make contact with it here up against the post?
Goalkeeper número 15. Canadiens' goal is 5th of the playoffs, scored by number 15, Bobby Smith.
It took the Canadiens just 7 seconds after the start of the power play to score the power play goal.
4:41, the time of the goal. And the Canadiens are in front now, 2-1. Rangers are in there, though. Brook gets a shot. That's blocked. Another chance for him. And was down hanging on to it. And there's going to be another penalty, I think, on this play.
Canadiens rookie forward John Kordick is upset. He better take it easy. Van Hellemond has told him to go to the penalty box. Now he does. So on the turnaround, first rush up the ice following the Montreal goal by Smith, the Rangers get another power play chance as Kordick goes to the box. That happened directly in front of the Canadiens net. Brook with the shot right here, and as it goes off a Canadiens defenseman, it goes right to the crease. A Ranger player falls. There's where the penalty call is made. Brook was knocked down by Kordick, and he's in the box for 2 minutes.
Penalty number 31, John Kordick. 2 minutes for cross-checking at 5 minutes, 3 seconds.
Cross-checking the call. Bob, the Rangers' power play has hurt them these past couple of games. Mind you, they won 2 games ago, but it hasn't been very effective. See what happens here.
They have Ridley on there with Sandstrom and LaRouche up front. Ruotsalainen, a defenseman, with Patrick, and there's Patrick with the puck. Patrick to Ruotsalainen. He has to back up. Carbonneau is on the ice again with Gainey to try and kill this penalty for Montreal. 1:40 left in the power play, and the Rangers Ridley in. Ridley fired it in on the boards. It goes to the far side. Gainey has the puck, and he will very coolly clear it down the ice. And he goes to the Canadian bench. 1:25 left in the power play. This is Patrick lugging the puck to center ice, getting away from McPhee. Ridley on the left side. Patrick in front of the net, and he was stopped. Ridley bumped by McPhee. The Canadiens are going to move it out. Skrudland is up the center with McPhee carrying in. Dropped it to Skrudland, going in, faking the shot. Now he has no place to go, so he dumped it to the corner. He was in a pretty good position to let one fly at Van Beesbrook.
He had it to do all over again, as the saying goes. I think he'd shoot the puck.
Canadiens doing a great job killing this penalty. That's McPhee backhanding it in. Skrudland going in after Patrick. The goaltender played it away with 40 seconds left, and the Canadian penalty, and the Rangers, 4 of them abreast. Coming to center is Paymont to the line. He is stalled for a moment, and then he loses it. Carbonneau, one man back, Gainey with him. Bob Gainey right in, and Van Beesbrook outguessed him. He stayed right with Gainey and made the save on the short side.
And Huber stayed right with Carbonneau, so Gainey didn't pass the puck.
Look at Carbonneau work the penalty killing role. He's at center, tying up 2 Ranger players on that play. And the Canadiens have just 10 seconds left in their penalty now. Huber steps in there, takes a shot. Patrick Waugh, that one was screened. And I'll tell you, he just got his hand out there in time.
That was a terrific shot by Willie Huber. He drilled it, partially screened, a rising drive. And Patrick Waugh, that's his best save of the hockey game as far as I'm concerned, because it was a terrific blast from the left side. Good play by Huber. 5 seconds left in the Montreal penalty to Kordick. Now here is the break here, Carbonneau and Gainey. Now watch Gainey, but Carbonneau was covered. Gainey elected to carry on in. He didn't shoot. He tried to get in tight, but he didn't feel that Carbonneau was in the clear for the return pass.
So good work by the Rangers defenseman, staying back on the play and forcing Gainey to the outside, giving his goaltender Van Beesbrook the chance.
Well, the crowd into this one. Bob, I have this season certainly not heard as much noise as early in the evening as was the case when they opened the gates to let the people in at 6:30 local time tonight. It was wild in here as soon as they arrived, the standees.
Kordic has 5 seconds left in his penalty. He's ready to come back on. This face-off, though, to the right of Patrick Waugh. Canadiens win the draw. Robinson dumped it back to the net. That's Chelios clearing it to the line, not out. Canadian penalty over, the Rangers in. Here's a shot from a fair distance. I'll tell you, Patrick Waugh had a notion to go down. He started to go, but not quite, and got the hand up and made that look awfully easy. Wasn't that easy, but he makes them look easy. Sign of a good goaltender.
Once again, tonight a crowd of over 18,000 at the Forum, 18,076. That is capacity, give or take a few.
9:53 left in period number 2. Canadiens and a goal by Bobby Smith with the lead here in the second period. Their second power play goal tonight. Lemieux scored in the first to tie it after Sandstrom had scored for New York.
One of the most interesting plays tonight was that one we just saw pulled off by the Canadiens goaltender Patrick Waugh. He came out of his net and threw it up the center ice quickly on a clearing shot by New York. And Chris Chelios beat the man. You mentioned the penalty was over. Chelios skated right by the Eriksson coming out of the penalty box and almost was in all alone. Rangers just recovered in time. Look out. Allison seemed to go after Skrudland. I think it was nothing untoward and a false start on the faceoff. Skrudland turns around and says, what's that all about?
So they'll do it again. Skrudland against Allison. Boy, Allison turned and just ran right at Skrudland. Now the puck goes into the corner. And it's cleared out by Allison to center ice. Play comes to Skrudland. He circles at his own line, slapped it across the Ranger blue line. Kordic went in there after Melnick. McClellan's pass across center. Allison can't play, knows that, and does not. The Canadiens do, and they get a break. Up to center McPhee, but he lost control of it right in front of Samuelson. He shoots one in. And it's icing called against New York.
And we get John Kordic involved again, this time with Brian McClellan. This program is copyrighted strictly for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, distribution, or exhibition, in whole or in part, without the express written consent of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, is strictly prohibited. Now here's the McClellan-Kordic situation. After the whistle had gone, Peacemakers arrive on the scene. No further damage done. They have just skated down toward the Ranger end for the face-off, and Jean Perron has made a change. Kordic's actions appreciated by the partisan crowd as he gets to the players' bench. On the ice right now for Montreal, another raw rookie in terms of Stanley Cup competition, number 8, David Maley, from the University of Wisconsin in a place called Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. That's his hometown.
The Canadiens have outshot the Rangers 9-6 in the second period, 18-14 overall. Face off in the Rangers zone again. Pierre LaRouche dumped it behind his own net. Gainey went in there trying to steal it. There's Maley in the corner. Maley left it there and then went after it a second time. Gainey has his skate on it, trying to knock it loose, and he got it loose. Maley tried to play it back. Gainey went after it again. Then Carbonneau comes in to help Maley. They're going to get a whistle for sure. 4 players in on the boards.
Ruotsalainen was upset with Gainey. He took a bit of a swipe at him in the corner of the rink, and then another little bit of a cross-check to start all of this, or to add to all of this along the boards. There's David Maley, joined the Canadiens out of the University of Wisconsin. And they sent a couple of players up to the NHL late. in the NHL season. Scott Mellenby signing with the Philadelphia Flyers, and David Maley, his teammate at Wisconsin, signing here in Montreal. I think you can count on the fingers of two hands the amount of minutes that he has spent on the ice. He hasn't played that many games, made his NHL debut against Pittsburgh March 31st.
Maley got in front of the net, but he was covered and couldn't get a shot. Rangers do not get out. Maley stopped them at the line. Now they roll it to center ice. Ludwig fired it back into Carbonneau. Rink wide it goes. Gainey shoots. He didn't get much on it. He just turned and hoped to fire it at the net. Just barely hit the puck. Rangers come back in. At the line, they're offside. That was Sandstrom, a little late going in with it.
Got a play by Bob Gainey right there, and the turnaround. He tried to do an imitation of Guy Lafleur. He used to watch the Flower do things like that and connect all the time, but that's not what he is paid mainly to do in this game. He is paid to do things like score a couple of goals when they are really needed and to play opposite the other team's top gunners like Pierre LaRouche. And so far in this series, whenever those two have got together, that has been a no contest situation. Bob Gainey, quite a career. He's in his 13th NHL season, played in all 80 games, and was the MVP of the playoffs the last time the Canadiens won the Stanley Cup, 1979, when these same two teams met in the final round.
8 minutes and 24 seconds left in the second period. Sandstrom for the Rangers, Lemieux for Canadiens in the first period, and Bobby Smith, the Canadiens' second power play goal of the night, here in a second, and it's 2-1 Montreal.
Larry Robinson holding things up, getting a new stick. Mentioning that 1979 series, that's the only time Montreal and the Rangers have ever played in a final series. This series marks the 13th time that the two teams have met in the playoffs, going back to the first one in 1930. They're even, 6 wins apiece.
That's Robinson, new stick and all, dumping it in. Melnick goes back for New York. Back of the net, Ian Laidlaw, the defenseman. Miscue trying to get that puck out. Richer flipped it out in front of the net. Comes back to Chelios. Chelios tries to move away from Paiement and does. Canadiens roll it around inside the Ranger line. It's bounced out over the line now, and Chelios drops it back. Robinson to Richer. It escaped. Rangers nearly went in on that play. Brook fired one across the line. Robinson dumped it ahead. Again. Paiement in against Robinson. Robinson takes him in on the boards. Robinson now tied up by Paiement. Can't move on it. Rangers can't keep it in. It comes to center. McPhee nearly went in there with Lemieux. Now he has it again. McPhee trying to drop it back. Laidlaw missed it. Chelios dropped it back. Robinson gets set. Robinson does not shoot it. He goes all the way back of the net with it. Robinson now in on the boards, being stopped by Brook. Puck comes loose, but it was gloved out to Samuelson, and the play is called. This is Stanley Cup 86 on CBC. This is Bob Cole along with Dick Urban, Dave Hodge, and Don Cherry along with us. We're at the Montreal Forum. And the Canadiens leading this game 2-1 and the series 3-1. Wanting to wind it up tonight. Puck in back of the Ranger goal. It comes out, and Eriksson was there to clear it away before Naslund could get a stick on it. Now it's Bobby Smith taking a hit from Samuelson. Got the puck in across the line. The Rangers back out again. LaRouche going in. He made that move at the blue line, and Eriksson had gone in ahead of him. LaRouche not having a good series against Canadiens.
This has been a fairly one-sided period in favor of Montreal. You mentioned the shots, Bob, a minute ago. I think if you counted shots directed toward the net, the margin would be much greater. And indeed, Pierre LaRouche is a frustrated young man. Came into this series with 15 points for the Rangers, and he had 8 of them were goals. He has not scored a goal in this series. We're moving past the halfway mark here of game number 6.
Allison, McClelland, and Brook for New York. 2-1. The Canadiens lead with 6:40 left in the period. Gingras tried to stick handle out. Finally got smart and rolled it up to Smith before he hit his own blue line, with the Rangers there forechecking, and now the puck is over the glass into the crowd.
New York has not been able to put any sustained pressure on the Canadiens inside their zone. That shot by Huber was their best chance of the period. And Bobby Smith playing much better as this series moves along. Has the go-ahead goal for the Canadiens in this one. Smith this past season, 31 goals. That's his best single-season goal total since he scored 45 in Minnesota in 81-82.
The Ridley line comes on for New York, so Carbonneau and Gainey, along with Nyland, will be on there for Canadiens. Ridley, number 18, against Carbonneau. Rangers after the draw, dump it out across the line. Lawler got trapped. 3-on-1. Ridley going in, and he made that extra play, and the Canadiens were able to get back in time. It's rolled down to Patrick of New York. Patrick backhands it out to Osborne. Up with Sandstrom. Coming in, Ruotsalainen. His low shot misses. Osborne took a shot. It's deflected in front. Oh, and somehow Sandstrom had the empty net, and he missed it. He won't believe that when he sees it tomorrow. Nyland fired one in. Rangers nearly tied it.
That is the miss of this series. And we get more pushing and shoving with Nyland in a familiar role for Montreal. But that play at the Canadiens' net with Thomas Sandstrom missing, I said to myself, here it is, it's tied.
Yes.
And maybe he did too. The goaltender was out, and there is the frustrated Ranger forward who led the team in goals scored this year with 25. He has the goal for them here tonight. Now there's the goaltender, Patrick Watt, down, out of position totally. Look at this. The net wide open, and he shoveled it off the heel of his stick, and it missed the net, the post, by a good 6 inches. Take a look at this. How in the world? Oh, can you believe that one? And it's still 2-1 Montreal, but the Canadiens very, very lucky that this game wasn't tied on that play by Thomas Sandstrom.
When it's in the cards, it's in the cards. That should have been a goal. But then you look back at Naslin's chance in the first period. Almost the same. Naslin did, though, make the shot, but he went too far the other way and around the goaltender and hit the inside of the post. That one, Sandstrom did not come close. Went off the heel of his stick, and he missed it. You won't believe it, as we say. 5:40 left in the period. The Canadiens still leading 2-1. Rangers shoot it in. Patrick Waugh covering up as it came off the glass. Chelios now. His pass was stopped. Lemieux got it in front. Lemieux trying to poke it out across the line. Now then, Skrudlin carries on. Skrudlin and McPhee. McPhee drops it. And the shot was blocked. Here's Skrudlin. He misses it. Huber lost it against McPhee. McPhee in the corner. Stop. And in back of the net, Huber. All over Lemieux. Lemieux got it loose. Lemieux comes out front trying to jam it in. Skrudlin is stopped by Laidlaw. And the Rangers get the puck out of the zone. Canadiens fire it back in, but Lemieux and McPhee both were heading to the Canadian bench on a change. 4:50 left in the period. Canadiens 2 and the Rangers 1. Up the center. Richer and Naslin. Played in on the left side to Lawler. Bobby Smith in there, got it back, but the Rangers pick it off and come out with it. That's McClellan playing it in. McClellan gets it back. McClellan going to the side of the net. He centered it. And it comes all the way back over the line, and Naslin nearly got away. Rangers' Melnick didn't wait long enough to clear it in. But the Canadiens get an opportunity to move it out, so no offside. As Richer takes it to center, then loses it, and it went over the boards at the Ranger bench with 4:11 remaining in the second period. Hockey Night in Canada returns in just a moment. Carbonneau for Montreal, Nyland and Gainey on the wings, Ridley for New York, Eriksson and Sandstrom, the wingers on this Ranger line. Melnick gives it to Samuelsson, coming to the blue line to center, bumped by Carbonneau. Carbonneau through center ice, hooked a high one into the corner. That sends Bob Gainey in against Samuelsson. He's tied up. Ridley given a shot back of the goal by Chris Nyland. Here's a drive. That hit Nyland standing in front of the Ranger net. And the puck goes bouncing high. Now comes down to Sandstrom against Gainey. Sandstrom back of the goal for Samuelsson. He whipped it toward the line. And the Canadiens take over it again. Chelios played it up for Gainey. He missed it. Didn't see it, actually. Samuelson got it back. Melnick for New York. Got away from Nyland. From center, played it ahead on the wing. Coming in with a shot. That's blocked by Patrick Waugh. No problem. He covered the angle as Sandstrom let her go.
This game's settling in a little bit right here. Nothing much in the way of pressure on the part of either team when it comes to shots on goal. The Sandstrom miss was the best chance in the last little while. And that brings up the old broadcasting cliche again with 3:20 left in this period. The importance of the next goal in the game, if there is one. If Montreal gets it the way this game has gone, they will be in great shape. If the Rangers tie it after the way it has been played in the second period with the Canadiens dominating for the most part, it could mean a big turnaround for New York.
Bob Brook with Maloney set for this face-off. And over along the boards is Mark Osborne. And he gets the pass. Comes back to Ruotsalainen. His shot hit McPhee, and he just calmly dumped it off the boards down to the Ranger line. That's Maloney turning for New York. Up to Osborne. Osborne coming in. He has Brook with him. Patrick Waugh dumped it along the boards in the corner. McPhee covered by Maloney, and the Canadiens get it out. Lemieux trying to give chase. And against Patrick. Lemieux was stopped in on the boards by Patrick. They hold it. Referee standing there allows the play to continue, hoping they'll move it. I don't think they're going to. And he's still standing there watching. Oh boy, they call it.
2:38 left in the period. You wonder if they might have strung it out all the way. Well, there is the Rangers' number 3, James Patrick, completing his second full season. Drafted number 9 overall as an underage junior in 1981, and he shows the scars there of the fight he had in New York 2 nights ago at the Canadiens rookie Claude Lemieux. Played junior in Prince Albert, Tier 2, member of the Canadian Olympic team at Sarajevo. And a very promising defenseman at the age of 22.
Smith with Dahlin on the right side. Naslund, the left winger for Montreal. Bob Crawford is number 32 for the Rangers. LaRouche now out on the left side with that line. And Allison, another center man, is playing on the right wing. Huber and Laidlaw, the New York defenseman. Robinson and Chelios for Canadiens. Puck comes to Laidlaw, gets away from Smith. Laidlaw's pass to Huber. Huber had to move it in a hurry. Chelios stopped the pass, then lost it. Allison moving up on the play, tried to set it up in front for Crawford. Laidlaw comes back to watch Dahlin. Laidlaw for New York with 2:15 left in the period. Huber back to Laidlaw from center ice. He pushed it ahead to the line. Here's Pierre LaRouche throwing a pass into Allison. Allison centered it. Laidlaw gets set. That shot deflected wide of the goal, and Chelios dumped it to the line. Laidlaw on his knees kept it in to Crawford. LaRouche couldn't beat Waugh on the short side, and the goaltender made a second stop, hugging the post.
Pierre LaRouche has had as many good chances here tonight at times as he has perhaps in the entire series. But right there, he didn't have much of an angle. And Patrick Roy, as they have a play on words the way the New York fans were chanting the kid's name the other night, hangs on up against the post, makes a couple of saves, but LaRouche had no room at all. And I don't think there was any way he could have cut in front because there was traffic there. You could see there was an opening, and you don't give those to LaRouche too often, but he is sharp when it comes to things like that, but he didn't quite find it with the first shot. No chance on the second.
Got a little bit of room on the short side, not much. 1:52 left. Second period, 2-1, Montreal. Ridley wins the draw. Lawler moving back at the net. Erickson on top of him. There's Ridley in there trying to jam it in front. Ridley was stopped by Lawler. They fight for it back in the net. Carbonneau decides he'd better come in to help, and Gainey got it out across the line. Patrick backs up to the Ranger blue line. Ridley bump. Here goes Carbonneau again. Carbonneau, and he grazed the post on the outside. He nearly got one to the far side. Carbonneau with a great burst of speed just hit the outside of the post.
That was a two-part play. Chris Nyland did his job and knocked Ridley off the puck in the neutral zone. Carbonneau hopped on it quickly. He is frustrated, as you can see. And from this angle, with Patrick watching him, there, dinged the outside of the goal post, not as close as the posts hit by Naslund and Lemieux. Just missing. But he hopped on it very quickly, and it was a quick opener for Montreal.
1 minute and 23 seconds left of the second period. It's elimination time for the New York Rangers unless they can get something going here. Rangers start out. Ruotsalainen up to Maloney. Maloney dumps one in. They pour in after it. Osborne was in first, but Chelios overskates it back of the net. Strudlin was in good position, covering up in front. Lemieux up on this play. Lemieux along the boards. Patrick staying with him. Lemieux trying to kick it loose. Patrick stays there. And the Rangers clear it away from the goal area. Strudlin over there with 50 seconds left. In the period, the Rangers come out. Ruotsalainen up to center, shoots. Shot misses the goal. McPhee dumped it off the boards and out. Once again, Melnick feeds it ahead. Robinson picks his way. Hooked a high one and went over the glass at the penalty box area. And with 36 seconds left in the period, it's called.
Now, Perron's team, you wouldn't say they're hanging on already, but what happened to that wide-open hockey bob that we had through the most part of the first half of these two periods?
Nobody wants to take a chance now. The Canadiens got their second power play goal of the game in the second at 4:41, and they seem to be content with that. They've had other chances, but mostly checking hockey in the second period. We'll see what develops. Melnick is back with 30 seconds left. Rangers try to tie it here now. That's offside. Ridley takes the pass up across center. They'll bring it back inside the Ranger blue line. 26 seconds left in the period.
Well, neither team in form that you could call sharp right now as this second period comes to an end. We will have a special feature, a profile of the Montreal Forum in our upcoming second intermission. And Dave and Don will chat once more.
Melnick is number 30 for New York. Time running out here in period number 2. Rangers give it one more shot as Huber shoots it in. Patrick Waugh stopping it behind the net. Naslund gets a chance to clear it. 10 seconds left, and it's Carbonneau just missing the pass. Trying to squeeze along the boards inside of Huber. Carbonneau takes it again, but the siren goes to end the period. The shots were 10-10. Even in the second, and the score at the end of the second period is New York Rangers trailing the Canadiens 2-1. And the third period is underway. This is it for the Rangers. If they want to extend the series, they'll have to do it right here in the third period. The Canadiens lead 2-1.
There is Larry Robinson, who was in on the play that gave the Canadiens a 2-1 lead. A power play goal by Bobby Smith. At 4:41 of the second period, it was the only scoring play in that period. Sandstrom for the Rangers, and Lemieux on a power play for Montreal had scored in the first period. Shots on goal were even in the second period, 10 apiece. The Canadiens with a slight edge statistically there, but a little slighter than that when it came, a little more than that rather, when it came to the territorial play for most of the second period. But let's face it, the hockey wasn't exactly breathtaking through the last 6 or 7 minutes of that period. Canadians settling in with the 1-goal lead. They better not settle in too deeply.
The Rangers in the playoffs have come from behind. Trailing going into the third period, they've come from behind to win 3 times. Canadians come back. Ludwig played it up on the boards, and the Canadians come out of the zone. It's Bobby Smith and Naslund. Naslund grabbed the puck. He went right in there. Smith off to the side, centered it, kicked away by John Van Beesbrook. Out for New York, Ruotsalainen. He got up across the Canadian line. He was alone as the Rangers were making changes, so he just dumped it in. Chelios for Montreal, gave it away. Quick shot is tipped away by Roy. Rangers in after it. That's Crawford, 32. Bobby Smith looking around, had his stick lifted. He waited too long. And the Canadiens just have to shoot it out and down the ice. This is going to be icing with Melnyk back. They played 1 minute and 28 seconds of the third period. Samuelsson up there for New York. Hooked it off to the corner. Rangers go in after it, but McPhee will play it around Samuelsson on the boards. Up to center, Lemieux. Skoglund coming up on the play. Lemieux in there. In back of the net, he tried to center it. Allison of the Rangers. McPhee went after it. And now Melnyk takes over for New York. Melnyk was bodied in on the boards. Here's Lemieux coming in. And that shot stopped by Van Beesbroek, an exciting young player. Lemieux, he has scored one tonight and nearly had another.
Ron Van Beesbroek holding his ground. Lemieux hopping on that so quickly. He had a rather rough night from a skating standpoint, I thought, 2 nights ago in Game 4 in New York. But the young legs are serving him well here this evening. He had a good chance right off a face-off in the second period. And right here, look at this. The loose puck is his, and he cuts in from a very sharp angle. However, Van Beesbroek, as you noticed, didn't really have to make a move to make the save. The puck hit him, and he picked off the rebound. Well, the Canadiens aren't doing much in the way of scoring. Van Beesbroek has allowed them just 2 goals in the last 5 periods.
Canadiens win the draw. Bobby Smith is back of the goal. He comes in front. Took a swing at it. Van Beesbroek is down. And he hangs on to it. Smith coming close.
Marcel Samuelsson looking on from the Ranger bench as their team comes close to being scored on for the 2nd straight time in this sequence. Bobby Smith that time, and Dave Maley, the rookie, was tied up and knocked down. He hit his backside in a hurry in front of the net. Bobby Smith with a goal tonight, and he likes that kind of a play, Bob, as you know. He likes to swing around. Didn't have the angle that time.
Here's a long shot deflected wide of the Ranger net. Canadiens out early in this third period, looking for a 2-goal lead. Naslund is behind the goal. Huber on top of him. Naslund trying to squeeze loose. He can't do it. And it's Patrick. Patrick's pass to the right side. The Rangers bring it out across the line. Brooks shoots it in. Waugh covering up, left it for Chelios. Chelios got away with that one. He hit the Ranger forward. Maloney, now he goes the other way. Payma hit him, knocked him to the ice. Canadiens get it out of the zone to center. Laidlaw to Brook. Brook fades back. Laid it ahead to Maloney. Ruotsalainen on the move, but Payma takes the pass. And it's offside and called back.
One thing that might be disturbing Jean Perron in this third period, the Canadiens have mishandled the puck. Played it very poorly deep in their own zone 4 times. And it hasn't cost them yet. Craig Ludwig's elbow is what put Kelly Miller out of commission in this game. He drew a 2-minute penalty. Miller has suffered a slight concussion, and the Ranger rookie will not be back this evening. That happened in the first period.
2 minutes, 50 seconds gone in the third as Lawler hops in across the line. Laidlaw goes back of the goal for New York. Ruotsalainen gets rid of it on the board. Sandstrom is checked right away. Gets the puck out though. Robinson shoots it back in for Montreal. Netminder leaves it there for Ruotsalainen. Back of the net, the Rangers start to move up front. Ruotsalainen carries the puck to center. Played it on the boards across the line of the Canadiens. We're all back there checking. Laidlaw is checked off the puck. The Canadiens break out. Gainey coming in. Gainey sweeps in on the net. Tried to take a shot. Went after the rebound. The shot missing the goal. And the Rangers clear it. Robinson galloping back in. Big Robinson jamming on the brakes. Had his stick knocked away before he could get a shot. Sandstrom on the right side. Flipped it out to center, and Robinson stops there. Waiting for McPhee. McPhee is checked by Ridley. Lemieux on the ice again. Poked the puck down to the Ranger blue line. Went after it, but Ruotsalainen comes out. Pass through the middle. Ridley couldn't handle it. Here's McPhee on the break. He is going in alone. McPhee hit the goal post and went in behind Van Beesbroek. He had him beaten. And it went off the post. Rangers might get a lift from that now. Allison is in there. Laid it off the boards in the corner for Crawford. McPhee again trying to clear it. Canadiens are going to move it out. It goes down to the Ranger line. Nearing the 5-minute mark of the third. Still 2-1 Montreal. McPhee was in on a breakaway. Around the net. This is Naslund laying it off the boards to Kordic. Rangers pick it up again, but they're offside. And the play is called at the Montreal blue line.
Good night for Thomas Sampson of the Rangers. He missed a wide open net in the second period. Stepped out of the penalty box here a moment ago. Looked like he might have had a breakaway, and he fell down.
Rangers stopping the puck is Ruotsalainen in with a shot. Missed the net. Look out! Waugh didn't know where it was. He had turned around. It came off the boards very quickly and hit a skate net. He nearly had a heart attack.
He just says, thank goodness. Take a look at it here. This one comes out right on the ice and through the edge of the crease and hit Patrick Waugh, who really I don't think knew where it was at that point. He hadn't completely turned around. He recovered in time. The Rangers weren't on him, luckily for Patrick Waugh.
Allison in on the draw. Strudlin wins it. Canadians get it to the line and out. McPhee pushed it down the ice. Kordic is flattened by Ruotsalainen. Kordic from center. Nailed by Payma. That's 2 hits inside of 10 seconds on Kordic. That might get him going. Rangers played it off the boards to the Canadian line. Ludwig ahead to Strudlin. McPhee with him. McPhee going in. Strudlin going for the net. McPhee back of the goal, loses control. Ruotsalainen gets it ahead for New York. Nearing the halfway mark of the third, and Allison is in with LaRouche. LaRouche tried to center it. Allison is spun around by Ludwig. And the play is called at the line.
Canadians have to be very careful. They've got to watch retaliation. You mentioned how they had gone after young Kordic, and of course maybe that might have been in the Rangers' mind. He's a fiery young man, and he could retaliate and draw a penalty. I think of a message to our good buddy John Davis of JD, who is working in the Western Series. Your name was up in lights in Madison Square Garden the other night, John. They had the quiz. What 2 goaltenders started every game of the 79 series between these teams? The answers were Ken Dryden and John Davis. Well, these 2 goaltenders have started every game. And Beesbrook didn't finish game 2, as Paymont is seen in on the replay, nailing young Kordic. 10:48 left in regulation time. We've got another low-scoring Montreal Canadiens playoff special. They lead it 2-1.
The shots here in the third, 5-1 Montreal. Canadians shoot it in. That was Lawler playing the puck in. Gainey hit his man Samuelson in on the boards to the right of the Ranger net, and Robinson comes in with Carbonneau and Gainey. Gainey over on the boards. Samuelson took him out of the play. Maley has it for Montreal. He was knocked off the puck. Carbonneau now centering it. Gainey is stopped in front. Here's a high deflected shot into the corner. Carbonneau feeds it back to the net, and Samuelson tried to clear it out and failed. Maley takes a shot. He scores. Bob Gainey.
What a moment for the Canadiens' rawest rookie in playoff competition, number 8, David Maley. He made quite a play to trap the puck there, out of the air. He turns and lets it go, and Van Beesbrook on a Gainey deflection, it looked like, stopped it but lost it. And all Bob Gainey had to do was put it in the empty net. The play was heading up the other way. And one of those situations where a player, in this case David Maley, picked it out of the air. I guess Van Beesbrook thought he had it under the pad. And what a big, big goal for the Canadiens captain. Seems, Bob, whenever he scores in the playoffs, it's a big goal we're talking about. So it's 3-1 Montreal with 10:09 left in the third period.
Well, that is indeed a big goal for the Canadiens here at 9:51. Maley got an assist on the goal.
9 minutes, 51 seconds.
And Gainey gets his 4th of the playoff. Here it is again.
You'll see the puck comes in, and Van Beesbroek has to go right through his legs. They don't come any easier when it comes to putting it in the net. And the final analysis on that one.
But you notice Gainey was out close to the blue line, and he turned right away and headed straight for Van Beesbroek. And that turn turned out to be a great move by Gainey. Yeah, the empty net. 3-1, Canadiens. Osborne battling back. Rangers now would love a quick one here. Canadiens, no doubt, will be guarding against that. Closely as possible. Naslund is knocked down. The Rangers shoot it in again. Ludwig goes back. This is Naslund. Didn't play it. Huber took a shot. Knocked down in front by Ludwig. Out to Naslund. Off the boards with it. Naslund is checked. Osborne in again. Osborne stopped by Naslund. Lemieux feeds it off the boards and chases it. Chelios stops it at center. He was hit right away by Osborne. 4 players in on the boards holding the puck. And the play is called. We have 9 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third period. And the Canadiens now have a 3-1 lead. This is Bob Cole with Dick Irvin, Dave Hodge, and Don Cherry at the Montreal Forum. And the Canadiens within 9 minutes and 10 seconds of advancing to the Stanley Cup final. They're leading Rangers 3-1. Rangers shoot the puck up to the Canadian line. It's cleared down the ice again. This will be icing as Laidlaw goes back. Icing called. The shots are 26-19 for Montreal. I don't know, Dick, you've seen the Canadiens throughout the other series this year. I've been working around with different series. This is probably the softest game for Patrick Roy so far.
He's had 1 shot in this period. Here's a New York team that's down by 1 coming into the period. You'd think they'd be storming. But maybe their lack of offense is finally doing them in, although we still have 8:57 to go. They were the second lowest scoring team in the league in the regular season. And with only 1 shot here, they haven't threatened. Closest chance was the puck that came off the backboards. And that wasn't counted as a shot.
Brook is 13. Canadiens win the draw. Robinson played it on the glass. Ruotsalainen couldn't stop it. Canadiens get it out. It's up across center. McPhee is there. Ruotsalainen lost his stick, but kicked it in over the Canadian blue line. Skrudland up the high one through the middle. Laidlaw circles at the Ranger line. Up to Brook. Brook getting away from Skrudland. Feeds it in. Lawler nearly fell, but now he passes ahead. McPhee to center. Coming in is Richer. McPhee's shot off the boards. Richer has it. Richer is hammered in on the boards. Richer stays with it. Played it out to McPhee. McPhee gets set. His weak shot wide. Once again, kept in by Skrudland to Richer back of the net. In the corner. Richer got it out front. The Rangers now, a little disorganized, can't clear it. Gainey turning. Pass it back to Gainey. That was Skrudland set up. Gainey took a shot. It's blocked on the short side. It's back of the net again. And Huber just dumps it ahead. Puck comes to center, and the Canadiens. Gainey was back there. He has given the Canadiens a 3-1 lead here in the third period. Scoring at 9:51, and the Canadiens pour it on now. Carbonneau set it up perfectly. Got him! And Van Beesbroek is down, buttering the puck. 7:35 remaining. Hockey Night in Canada returns in a moment. Reminder, stay tuned for the Molson 3-star selection right after the hockey game tonight. We're 7:30 away from the end of this game, provided, of course, the Rangers don't tie it. Bailey is in there again. He got an assist on Gainey's goal, giving the Canadiens the 3-1 lead here in the third. Ridley turns for New York around the net. Bailey out front watching his every move. Puck is cleared to the line. Back to center. Ridley is stopped. Carbonneau went in. Lost it against Ruotsalainen. Ahead it goes. Sandstrom shoots it in. Back first is Chelios for Canadiens. Got some room to clear it to the line and out. 6:50 left in the third period. The Canadiens will win tonight. Will be in the Stanley Cup final. Here's Sandstrom in with Patrick. Back to Sandstrom. That didn't work. And Chelios is covering up defensively. Around the net. Sending Naslund to the line to center. And he shoots it in. This will be icing as Patrick is back first. He touches it. And icing is called against Montreal.
Fans are singing the song. Sometimes they can start a little too early. This is very early with 6:32 left. But the last couple of times he's been on the ice, Guy Carbonell has put on quite a show in his very strong role as the Canadiens' premier defensive center man. And it's the kind of hockey he's played right from the start of the playoffs, game 1 against Boston. I mentioned earlier on, I couldn't recall the Forum being as noisy long before the game started as it was tonight when the fans started to arrive. I can't remember it being as noisy as long as they have kept it up since the Gainey goal gave Montreal the 2-goal edge at 9:51.
Well, Dick, you know, they're starved for a Stanley Cup final show. They're getting closer and closer to it now. Rangers, a shot from the line by Huber is blocked. And that's the Canadiens' plan now. Check very closely. Make sure nobody is caught up the ice. This time everybody is back, and the Canadiens get it out over the line. Rangers bring it in again. Allison flipped it back. Canadiens all back. That's Lawler. Allison is chasing him. Lawler made a good move to get away from Allison. It's fed off the boards down the ice. Hopping over the stick of Laidlaw. Less than 6 minutes remaining in the third period. The Canadiens are offside. A little soccer style there by Naslund as he boots one high, a souvenir into the crowd.
Three-pointer good from the 18-yard line. But only in our imagination. You watching Dave Cutler? Remind you of yourself? He scored a couple of goals this year, Bob, or set up a couple of plays using his feet. These European players can do it. They all tell you they played soccer. I guess that's the, or you can lean on in cases like that, but he's a handy guy at times like that, although that one came after the whistle.
Oh, he's a great little hockey player. Naslund electrified the Forum crowd early in the hockey game when he went around John Van Biesbroek after a solid rush. Pulled the goaltender, went around him, and hit the inside of the post. It's 3-1, Montreal. 5.5 minutes left in the third period. And the Rangers come on now. Brook shoots it in. Canadiens back there again. That'll be Robinson dumping one out. They will try not to come up with a mistake in their own zone. Ruotsalainen goes back. McPhee is watching him. Mainly is on the ice. He's getting a lot of time now in this third period. He set up the goal by Gainey. The go-ahead goal by 2, that is. Canadiens were leading 2-1, and Gainey's goal made it 3-1. Rangers shoot it out to center ice. This is Crawford in. His shot nowhere near the net. Huber stopped it at the blue line. Lawler very steady back there on the defense for Canadiens. Cooley dumps it down the ice. Less than 5 minutes remaining in the third period. The Canadiens, Richer nearly intercepted. Melnick's rush. Now Robinson again. Feeds it up on the far side to Lemieux. Richer in front. Here's Lemieux's pass. And Richer couldn't stop it. It was a hard, high pass. Rangers back in. Ridley going to the corner. Chelios covering him. Canadiens bring it out again. Chelios to center ice. Lost his stick. Kicks it into the Ranger zone. 4:20 to play. Third period. Huber back to the net for the New York Rangers. Hitting Sandstrom to center is LaRouche. LaRouche, a long shot. It hit Ludwig and bounced wide of the net. And the Canadiens are back there, circling to bring it out. That's Lemieux coming up with a play to Gainey. Gainey's shot deflected by Samuelson. Gainey hopping on it. It went away from him. Now he has it again. Lemieux dropped it back. Chelios, and he fired it wide. Good passing inside the Ranger line in front of John Van Biesbroek. 3:40 left in the third period. The Rangers, Samuelson gets it to center. Chelios played it back in across the line, and that's Nyland in there. He takes his shot. Van Biesbroek, no problem, cutting the angle to stop that shot. Laidlaw, the Rangers to Allison. Allison fired it in. Time running out on New York now. They're trying to fight off elimination here. They're down 2 goals to the Canadiens. Ruotsalainen goes back. Put it through the middle. Naslund picked it off. Naslund going in with a burst of speed again, but Ruotsalainen was back. Now we have 3 minutes remaining in the third period. Here is Lawler coming in. Just shovels the puck in behind the Ranger net. 2:50 to play, third period. Canadiens. Naslund in on there again. Naslund dipsy-doodling in front of the net. He nearly beat Patrick. Patrick just got a piece of it. 2:40 to play. That's Patrick coming out. Ruotsalainen at center. Rolled one in. Patrick Waugh not busy at all in this third period. The Canadiens very organized. Only one shot on Waugh so far in this third period. That tells you something about discipline. Maloney's long shot is deflected high. Rangers in after it. In the corner, LaRouche centers it through the crease. Huber comes up, but he was too late. And the Canadiens get it out over the line to center. And back to the Ranger line. Canadiens picking it off again. They do not let the Rangers start at all. Melnick in front of the net. Now less than 2 minutes remaining in the third period. And the Canadiens lead 3-1. Here's a pass, nearly hit Lemieux on a break. Lemieux just failed to hang on to it. 1:45 to play in the third period. And the Canadiens that close now to a Stanley Cup final appearance against the winner of Calgary St. Louis. That series continues tomorrow night out west.
And Beesbrook trying to get out of the net.
McPhee coming in with Carbonneau, a minute and a half left. Ruotsalainen back of the net, circling. Play comes to the right side, and the Canadiens doing a great job now checking for the Rangers in again. Here's a shot. Waugh stopped that. Only a second shot to handle in this third period. Canadiens, Carbonneau to center. 3 of them in there. Gainey is up on the play. Gainey watching the Rangers go back to the net. We have 1 minute to play in the third period. And the Canadiens shoot it to center. Here comes Sandstrom, stopped by Carbonneau. Canadiens, all 5 players are back there now. And the crowd really buzzing here at the Forum in Montreal. Here's Patrick getting set. That is blocked. Huber went after it. Canadiens will clear it out. 40 seconds left. Pass down on the wing is Carbonneau and Gainey with him. Right in front of the net. Nyland is upended and the Rangers shoot it to center. Nobody could get up to play it though. Canadiens again. Nyland. He missed it. 30 seconds to play. Here's Carbonneau shooting one wide. Up comes Brook in his own zone. Dropped it there. 20 seconds left. A frenzy, this Montreal Forum now. Patrick Waugh under this one to grab it. 15 seconds to play, and the Canadiens are going to make it to the Stanley Cup final. Rangers are in there one more time. Huber shoots it. That is blocked. Look at the Canadian players standing in front of the net. And the countdown continues. The game is over. Montreal has eliminated.
Now, 1 second.
1 second, all right. But you might say they have eliminated the New York Rangers.
They have ruled the game is over.
And they'll move on to the Stanley Cup final.